Are you one of those students who always say, "in my opinion," when the examiner asks your opinion in speaking? If yes, you might be boring your examiner without even realizing it. Hi everyone, welcome back to IELTS Clinic. It's me, Ali, back again with another practical IELTS lesson. Today, we're going to talk about something very important for your speaking, how to give your opinion in a more interesting way. Many students always say, "in my opinion," when they want to share their ideas. Let's see some examples.
In my opinion, parents should help their children with homework.
In my opinion, we can improve our schools by having more activities.
In my opinion, homework should be shorter.
In my opinion, children should play more sports.
See what I mean? All of them start with "in my opinion." If you use this too often in the speaking test, it can sound boring and it might even lower your score. So, grab your pen and grab your notebook and let's get started. Today, I want to teach you 10 phrases you can use instead of "in my opinion." And of course, Anna is here to make our lesson more interactive and fun. Hey Anna!
Hello, Ali. Hello, everyone. I think this lesson is very practical for me because when I want to express my opinion, I always just say, "in my opinion," in my speaking.
The first phrase you can use instead of "in my opinion" is "as far as I'm concerned." This is a phrase that I personally like, and I always encourage my students to use it in their speaking instead of "in my opinion." For example, as far as I'm concerned, students need more opportunities to practice English. Or, as far as I'm concerned, public transport should be cheaper to encourage more people to use it. If you're watching this lesson, try writing your own sentences with "as far as I'm concerned" and share them in the comments. I'll check them for you later. Now let's move on to another way to give your opinion. What I believe is that. For instance, you could say, "what I believe is that children should play more sports." Or, "what I believe is that technology makes studying easier and faster." Or, look at this example. "What I believe is that governments should invest more money in public health." Now it's your turn. Pause the video and try making some sentences with "what I believe is that." Another good phrase is "to my mind." You might say, "to my mind, homework should be shorter." Or, "to my mind, public parks are important for people's health." Or, look at this example. "To my mind, learning a second language is essential for success today."
Ali, for example, I can say, "to my mind, students should have more group activities at school."
Good example, Anna. You can also use "from my point of view." For example, "from my point of view, teachers should encourage more group work. Or, from my point of view, governments should invest more in renewable energy. Or look at this example. From my point of view, children need more opportunities to play sports. So, from my point of view is a good phrase you can use instead of in my opinion. If you want something a bit shorter, you can say in my view. For instance, in my view, schools should focus more on critical thinking skills. Or, in my view, people should spend less time on social media and more time reading books. Or, in my view, cities need more green spaces to improve residents' quality of life.
Ali, how about this? In my view, schools should teach more about using technology safely. Is that good?
That's a great example, Anne. Another natural way to start is, it seems to me that for example, it seems to me that technology in classrooms is very important. Or, it seems to me that art and music classes are just as important as science subjects in schools. Or, let's look at this example. It seems to me that people should spend more time outdoors to improve mental health.
Or I can say, it seems to me that this lesson can help me improve my speaking score.
That's a good example, Anne. You can also say, personally, I think. For example, personally, I think that parents should spend more time with their children. Or, personally, I think schools should include financial education in the curriculum. Another one is, personally, I think reading books is more useful than watching TV.
Ellie, let me try. Personally, I think exercise is more important than watching movies.
Perfect, Anna. For more academic sentences, try my belief is that. Like this, my belief is that learning a second language is essential for all students. Or, my belief is that teamwork helps students develop better communication skills. Or, look at this example. My belief is that online learning will continue to grow in the future.
Okay, Ellie, how about this? My belief is that schools should give less homework.
That's a nice sentence. You can also say very simply, I believe that. For instance, I believe that parents should help their children with homework. Or, I believe that governments should invest more in renewable energy. Another one. I believe that art is just as important as science in education.
Then I can say, I believe that young people should spend less time on their phones.
Exactly, that's excellent. And finally, the most common phrase is, I think that. Like this. I think that schools should offer more extracurricular activities. Or, I think that watching too much TV is harmful for children. Or look at this example. I think that technology has made our lives easier.
Okay, Ali, my turn. I think that students should have more speaking practice in English classes.
That's a wonderful example, Anna. All right, everyone. Now it's time to put these 10 phrases into practice. Let's try some quick exercises together. Anna, I'll give you the beginning of a sentence, and you finish it using one of today's phrases. Ready?
Okay, let's try.
Here's the first one. You can try this at home too. Pause the video and finish the same sentences using different phrases you learned today.
Personally, I think technology makes our lives easier.
Excellent, Anna. That's natural. Let's try another one.
How about this? As far as I'm concerned, schools should have more sports activities.
Perfect. And the last one.
I can say, it seems to me that people spend too much time on social media.
Great work, Anna. And here's another challenge for you. Choose one topic, like, should schools have uniforms? Or should people spend less time on social media? Then write your opinion in the comments using at least 2 of today's new phrases. For example, in my view, schools should have uniforms. I believe that uniforms make students feel equal. Excellent. That's your practice for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next lesson. Practice with heart, believe in yourself, and never stop learning. And remember, success comes step by step. I'm here to guide you, and I'll see you in the next session.
Thank you, teacher. I'll try to use a variety of phrases instead of just a simple one like, in my opinion, in my speaking test. I can't wait for the next lesson to learn more ways to boost my score. Oh, and I've already subscribed and clicked the bell.
IELTS Clinic. Simple lessons. Real results.
So if we learn how to write one paragraph, it will be easier to write the whole essay.
So it would be 7 plus 4 plus 4 equals 15. Then they divide it by 3. The introduction is like a map for your essay. So thus, therefore, as a result,